couple weeks ago, you let us know that you were going to be heading to the factory, and now that you're back,
New factory.
New factory, yeah, the new factory in Kazakhstan.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, how was the travel to get there?
It's exhausting. So I flew from Seattle to Istanbul, and then I flew from Istanbul to Astana. It's the capital of Kazakhstan, and Yegor, our factory manager in Kazakhstan, picked me up, and we drove 500 kilometers from Astana to Petropavlovsk through the steppes. Just nothing around, just flat land. It was okay compared to my way back. Yegor, he read some weather forecast, and he said it's going to be snowing. And in Kazakhstan, because it's like flats, the winds are very strong. So when it's snowing, the roads are quickly covered with snow, so they just shut it.
Yeah.
So he said that we are risking not to get from Petropavlovsk back to Astana, so I took a flight from Petropavlovsk to Astana. But then I had to stay in Astana for like 10 hours. And then I flew from Astana to Istanbul, and I had a layover over 8 hours. And then I flew from Istanbul back to Seattle. So overall, I calculated it took me like 45 hours. It's a little complicated. Maybe there are better ways to go to Petropavlovsk. I'll explore for my next trip. Yeah.
Aside from the long journey to get there, you had mentioned that you were very impressed with what you witnessed and saw when you arrived.
Yes. I think we have all reasons to celebrate, which I suggest we'll do right now.
Okay. What is that?
And this is called kumis. It's a mare milk.
Is it cold?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You want me to get sick on film?
Yeah, I know. So for people of Irbit who made it happen.
Oh my gosh, that's different.
It's not bad.
Hey, this is horse milk.
100%.
That's different.
It's not bad.
Wow. Okay.
I wanted to bring some horse meat, but this would have been illegal, so I just ate it. So yes, I'm very excited by the fact that we did it. And actually, after seeing it with my own eyes, I realized that we totally underappreciated what our guys did. Absolutely huge amount of work put into organizing this assembly facility. So there were 3 key people who were sent to Kazakhstan and who were responsible for setting up this shop. Currently we have 16 people, 5 in the office and 11 people on the floor, and of those 11, 5 are from Irbit and 6 workers whom we hired locally. They can do probably 4 to 5 bikes a day currently. What needs to be understood is that it's totally new assembly, and it happened not just because of the guys who went there, but the guys who stayed in Irbit. And for instance, our engineers, almost all fixtures are made anew, So they were
Yeah.
designed and built and moved to Kazakhstan and set up. We, as a matter of fact, we brought very few old pieces of equipment,
It was all
about
built
almost none of the fixtures. We have an engineer whose name is Ivan Silivanov, and he basically did it single-handedly. Not
So-
only he designed it, but he actually
That was going to be my question. So he not
Made
only
it.
designed it, but he built it for you guys.
Yeah, like this bike test bench.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
To run in the whole bike.
to run the whole bike, which been set up in Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
He made it himself, like literally.
At the beginning of this, you said back then that it might not be our final resting place. So, I mean,
See, we're in a situation when it's easier to plan for 10 years than for 3 months. Like
at
if
that
you,
location.
no, in general, like if it's easier to set some goals for 10 years from now and kind of set the path. But it's totally impossible to predict what's going to happen in 3 months.
Right.
So what I can tell that we definitely are in Kazakhstan for the next 3 months. But if we're going to be in Kazakhstan 5 years from now, I don't know. With the completion of this phase of relocation, then we should and can start planning for a little further away. And I can see us staying in Kazakhstan for a long period of time. And this is kind of a decision that I feel we need to make rather soon. But in general, as I said, the setup, I like it a lot. It doesn't feel like home yet, if you know what I mean. I think we could make it feel this way. We just need some time to get used to all this new environment, new walls, you know.
Right.
I like the guy who assembles engines very much. It's like, this is how I would set up my own shop. So all has its own place, like it's clean,
Yeah.
minimum tools, only what he needs. Really, really nice. And I think the workers there, they feel different because everything is new, everything is nice, like new tools, new fixtures, new shelves, new lights. They say, oh, it's a little dark here. Next day, he gets the lamp, and himself or somebody put it on. Now we have just working assembly, which can produce the amount of bikes we sell. If we are to learn something from our experience during the past 10 months or 8 months, the major thing is that it all can change very quickly. So we need to be prepared. We need to have plan B, plan C, plan D, and so on and so forth. So basically our operational mode right now is stabilized in the current environment to become more efficient in the current environment, but in parallel get prepared if the environment will change to worse, because there are frames, body parts.
You're right.
This is something we need to think about. So this kind of a parallel to what I'm talking when I'm mentioning contingency plans.
So now that you've been there and you've got to look around, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing URAL now, the new factory in Kazakhstan?
Logistics, plain and simple. Logistics is disaster.
And that's true for import and export.
It's both in and out, yes. It's not just because we're in Kazakhstan, it's just because anything which have to cross Russia or China is total disaster. And the only reliable way of transportation right now is air, but land transportation or ocean transportation is very, very, very bad. Stuff which is coming by land from Asia, I think everybody read about it, or at least heard something about lockdowns in China. For instance, we have shipment from Taiwan, which we ship to China, hoping to move it across China to Kazakhstan, and it's been like almost 2.5 months. And as far as transportation by trucks, so there is a kind of a truck war between the European Union and Russia. Mm-hmm. So they would not allow trucks to go inside the territories. You need to find a truck with Kazakhstan license plate. So you can go, you can cross both Russia and European Union, which is very difficult, very expensive, because majority of Kazakhstan licensed trucks are working for Asian direction, China mostly. Yeah. And they don't want to get truck from China and send it to Europe because they can't find some freight to bring back. Yeah. Yes. Or you utilize local trucking companies, but the cargo needs to be reloaded on border. So you send a truck, it stops at the border between Russia, Belarus, and the European Union, wait for truck coming from the European Union, they exchange the cargo, and they go back. And it could take many, many days. And unfortunately, it's very unpredictable, so we're missing bookings from European ports, things like this. And of course, we put a very big extra load on our finances, of course, because we need to finance much, much longer turnarounds compared to what we used to.
It's very hard to plan around that.
Yeah, I mean, you plan that tracking company would pick the bikes on certain date. So you build up the schedule, you book the container ship, and then the truck is late because he got stopped. And you book a next vessel, the truck leaves the factory in Kazakhstan, and you miss this vessel too because it got stuck on the way to Europe. Trying very hard to find more reliable ways to move our cargo, like paying for trucks with Kazakhstan license plates, for instance. Or as far as infrastructure to support small manufacturing like ourselves is kind of not very good, quite frankly, in Kazakhstan still. It may change because from what we hear and see, quite a few companies are relocating to Kazakhstan, so I expect it will all the service industry which support manufacturing will develop quickly. Well, what's funny is that they're saying that over 300 companies expressed interest to relocate from Russia to Kazakhstan, and they are bringing the examples, and we are the first one.
So in general, your takeaway from your trip is overall very positive.
I mean, it's done. Yeah. That's my feeling. This mission is accomplished. I wish we never had to do this. So it's kind of a bittersweet, you know. The smooth is already kind of think of the past. We need to be worried about future and think about it. But it's done. It's good. We are operational. We build and ship bikes. We build and ship parts. But there are still a lot of things we need to take care of to feel ourselves more comfortable in the circumstances that we are in right now.
So were the guys happy to see you when you
They-
arrived, or were they like, "Oh man, the boss is here"?
No, no,
welcome.
I didn't get this feeling. It was important for me to show up there, of course, and I don't know if I'll survive health-wise if I'll be traveling to Kazakhstan as frequently as I did with Serbia, depending on the weather in Kazakhstan.
Well, I appreciate you debriefing me on the trip. I'm sure somebody will enjoy it that watches it. All right.
You want some more?
No, no.
Okay.
Thank you.